Hey and welcome back to my channel. It's the weekend and I'm vlogging because it is so important for me to stick to this right now. I've just had a gain last week and I am absolutely dying to just stay on track. So this morning I've woke up and we have gone to a science like kind of show.
Extremely careful.
2, 1.
Wow!
It were for kids. I got the tickets cheap. Somebody bought them. I went with Lily and Emma, sorry. It was at 2:30. I have just had normal breakfast. I just had 2 eggs and then I went there and I took some really low fat calorie sins crisps. So that's just 4 sins that I've just had. I drank a latte, which I'm using the milk for my healthy extra, and a bottle of Diet Coke. I've come home, I've just had a bit of salad, and lo and behold, Oliver has decided that today's going to be our silent treatment day. I've done some charity shop shopping. I've bought some new Kicker sandals. They've only cost me £5. I've put them on and they fit, and my feet are quite fat, so I'm quite happy about that. I'm testing them out now because I'm going to go out. It's quite warm, so I thought, oh, sandals is fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop myself eating, I'm going to, because I usually eat when I feel really anxious and stressed, and Oliver is stressing the hell out of me. Really making me feel anxious and uptight. So, God, my hair's mucky. I'm going to head into town and go on the sunbeds. So that's a bit of me time, a bit of relaxation, because I'm not being ignored all day. I'm not being given the silent treatment. And then I've booked myself a ticket to go to the cinema on my own. I've packed myself a black coffee. I'm going to see how that goes. And if I feel like it, I might just book another ticket to the cinema just to keep myself busy, out the house, and away from food and stress and any temptation to eat, because the weekend is such a nightmare for me, like in general, in terms of wanting just to like have treats and go off plan and like feel like it's all right. So I've decided to keep myself busy and away from any stressful situations. The science show that we've just been to, I'm going to insert some videos here, was absolutely brilliant. It's meant for kids. They did loads of experiments. They've blown things up, they've set balloons on fire, they had like volcanic reactions. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Even though it was for kids, it was just absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Something different to do, got me out of the house, and it was only in Rotherham Civic Theatre, so it was a good giggle. So here I am in town. I've come here on my own. I'm going to go to the sunning beds. I do actually pack my tanning bag and I leave it in the car, so then I ain't got to mess about tanning and stuff. I've actually bought the dupe hair food things for going on holiday, and they were actually left in my bag, so I'll take those out, and some bin liners which I do need to take into the house. But in my bag I've got my tanning accelerator, hair bobble. I do have some makeup wipes. I've just thrown my goggles across the car. So I'm going to go and have a bit of me time and go on the sunbeds, and then I'm going to go off to Meadow Hall. I'll probably need to have a coffee just to pass a bit of time, and I might edit a little bit, sat in Oasis or something, waiting for my film to start at 6:30. How mad is this? I've just flung my bloody goggles across the car. Can't find them. I'm going to have to buy some more. Oh, here's to sunbeds. And these are my new bargain Kicker sandals, which I quite like, but I'm not sure if they're a bit big. But I can walk in them, which is a plus point. I feel all grown up in heels. I love the clicky noise that they make. It's so cute. my god. Sunbed done. I have just got blown away in the wind. I'm now boiling hot, no makeup on, and I've got to get to Meadowhall in 15 minutes until the cinema. Oh, why have I booked that time? Right, so I've just put you up in my sun visor because obviously I'm recording this while I'm driving. Oh my god, I'm so sweaty and sticky. I didn't risk getting to Meadowhall without getting some petrol, so I'm just gonna go to the petrol station on my way. In my defense, I do think that it's like half an hour, I think, something ridiculous, of like trailers and stuff. I've got a pre-booked seat already, I've got my tickets, I'm not buying any snacks, and it got me thinking, like, what is the best way when you're trying to be on plan to battle like not going to the cinema and eating loads of crap? And I thought, do you know what, I wonder what other people do. So if you're ever watching this, will you comment below as to what you do to make sure that you stay on plan? So I suppose, like, I was thinking about, you could battle it several ways. You could preempt that you're going to the cinema and save your sins, and then blow your sins for the day on a cinema tree. But then I thought, really and truly, working like that, it's like a bit of a binge mentality. Well, it would be if I did it, because I'd just like absolutely devour a load of crap up to my sins value. And I always find it really, really difficult then to curb that. Do you know, once I start eating chocolate and crisps, there is no end to me eating chocolate and crisps. I have not like pre-planned coming to the cinema. So I've already used some sins today and like I'm off to the cinema. So what I've tried to do in terms of like doing things such as the theatre, what we've been to today, and going to the cinema, is trying to stop linking it to having treats. So like going to the cinema on its own is a treat enough. I've started regarding like having a coffee, a latte as a bit of a treat, because I don't really drink coffee a lot. I'm more into drinking tea. So having a coffee is a bit of like a luxury thing, and that can be easily done as either have it black and it's free, or you can put your milk in it and you can pre-make it. My parents bought me like a 1 cup little flask. It's so cute and it's brilliant, and I've now packed that up with coffee in. It's in my bag. I've been on the sunbeds. I will get that and I will just have a coffee. I've like over the year I've like trained myself a little bit more to not link going to the cinema with having like nachos and cheese sauce, or Haribo's, sweets, chocolate, crisps, fizzy drinks. That is another thing, like I don't really have fizzy drinks very often, so having like a can or a bottle of Diet Coke is really filling. It's quite sweet and it's a bit like a luxury now to me, rather than it just being a bit of a given. Do you know that that's what I drink every day? I think that's quite healthy. I tend to have like sugar-free dilute pop in the house. I find that a lot more refreshing. It's really sweet as well. But I don't really drink that a lot now. I do drink a lot more water. So when I go to the cinema and I have that as a bit of a treat, it is actually, I do see it as a treat. So that's what I am trying to do. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, because I am far from perfect, and I do have blowouts where I eat loads of shit, and that's just life. But I am slowly trying to change habits for a lifetime, and that isn't going to happen like within 5 minutes. So I've just pulled up at the petrol station, so I'm going to have to get off, but I'll pick this back up in a minute. Back in the car, petrol got, so now at least I won't break down, because today, with how my day is going, I think that would be a nightmare. A really cute thing's just happened. Like, I'm having absolute nightmares with Oliver, but I was just watching the petrol station to play, and there's this little boy in there, and I mean, he literally is so tiny and petite and cute. His head was literally up to my knees. And although I've got a small heel on with my new shoes, I'm not exactly the tallest person. So you can imagine the age. I would say about 3 or 4, if that. And he's just ran up to me as soon as I've walked into the petrol station, wrapped his arms around my legs and gave me a massive hug and said he really liked me. So that like just cost me £2 because I was like, oh, is it okay if I buy him some sweeties, because that's the first hug I've had today and he's really cheered me up. So I've just given the little boy £2 because you can't buy sweets for like 50p anymore, can you? And I think he deserved him, and his dad said like that was fine, so I gave him £2, so he's now picking some sweets in the petrol station. Oh, that's really cheered me up. It really has. It's really nice that his little arms actually fitted over my legs, because my legs are super fat, so at least losing weight has allowed for that to happen. I have had 1,000 text messages from Oliver, so this is what's happened. He was planning to, I were going out with the girls and he wasn't coming. He said he was going out and getting ready. I asked him where. He was acting really sketchy and cagey, and I have really bad anxiety and self-esteem issues, which are not his, and that's fine, but that's where I'm at. So I said to him really calmly, non-like confrontational, that made me feel really anxious and stressed. It's like he had something to hide, and let's be honest, he's been an arsehole throughout, like in some parts of our relationship, so that like he never gives me any like reassurance. I think he enjoys keeping me like anxious and quite stressed and not feeling secure. So I then like, I didn't kick off, but I was like, that's just really shit. Like, I've said to you that I feel anxious and you just offer nothing back. He then went really sulky and moody, so I was like, right, we're gonna drop us off at the theatre. It's like, I'll just drive, I just want some change, I'm gone, I'm done, do what you want, I'm not interested. Because in future now, when people do that to me and I feel like they're putting me in that position, I just remove myself from it, because I'm trying to protect my eating and my emotions, because mine are really linked. So I've been out today, I've come back in the house, tried to talk to him, we have had a few text messages. I don't agree with the way he acts, he doesn't agree with the way I act. I asked him about a plan tomorrow to go and see one of his friends, and he's like, I'm not talking about it. He's just trying to snub me and give me the silent treatment. Personally, I think that's quite narcissistic, because I think doing that rather than like talking about it, and if I pissed him off, just expressing that I've pissed him off and telling me what's happening and talking it out and allowing me to apologise for bits I've done, maybe acknowledging what he's done and working through it like that, I think that'd be more productive myself. He's not, he's just giving me the silent treatment, hence why I've just been buying plants and I'm just going out and doing my own thing. But because I've just walked out of the house and I'm doing my own thing now, because he didn't want to talk before when I was in the house, then I've just got a barrage of text messages telling me basically I'm a cunt and that I'm being an arsehole and I've done A, B, C, D, E, F, G wrong and it's all my fault and I've acted like this and this. So I've just said, look, I think you need to develop your emotional maturity and your communication skills, because I don't think it's correct the way that you've behaved. I've not been abusive or anything, and he's just basically said I'm narcissistic, I've manipulated the situation, and I'm an arsehole, and just been quite derogatory, quite rude, not really thinking about what he's saying. He's just really defensive. Some parts of that I get, but I haven't actually attacked him. I've just said this is how it makes me feel and you're being really cagey and blah blah blah. I don't think he likes it, because I've just said I'm just not playing these games anymore. Do you know, like, you do you. If you want to be secretive, be secretive. I'm not getting upset about it anymore. I'm not really interested in playing them games. You do whatever it is you feel you've got to do. And ultimately doesn't really like that. So now he's sent me a little barrage of abuse, which I am choosing to ignore, because I have my evening planned, and if I react to it, like, I feel like he wants a reaction, and I do get that it's like an attention seeking thing, because obviously now he's feeling a bit pissed because I've upset him and he's tried to commit silent treatment. That's not worked. I've just gone and done my own thing, and so obviously that hasn't worked out how we wanted to. I understand his frustration, but I have actually before said I'm not playing these games. This is not how it's going anymore. I'm 40 years old. I just want a bit of development. So now I haven't really looked at my messages again, but I have got a few more messages. I haven't said where I'm going, what I'm doing. That's a little bit narcissistic and mean, I suppose, in a way, but if somebody's not speaking to you, I'm not, and he's not willing to explain anything to me or take it on board. He hasn't actually asked where I'm going. If he asks, I will tell him, but I'm not, my only communication with him is not going to be me telling him my whereabouts. Plus we have Live 360, so he knows where I am anyway. I've just left him to it, and so I'm gonna go and enjoy my evening. I don't think I'm quite late yet, and there is adverts and stuff to that. I'm just gonna turn my phone on silent during the film. If he asks me where I am before I get in there, I'm gonna tell him. I'm always honest, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm also not really going to get really upset about this situation, because ultimately all that does is spiral me into like this anxiety driven, because I'm in defense mode and I feel attacked and I feel like I'm unloved and he's not interested and all the rest of it. Like, Oliver really struggles with like expressing emotions. He's so emotionally cold, and I feel like the emotions that he does show, you know, like he does tell me he loves me, he does ask me, like he does do some things, but I know he does it as an action that he has to make himself do. It's not really natural to him, and I don't know whether that's his upbringing or what it is. I'm not really sure. He's not diagnosed with anything. He's autistic, I think, but undiagnosed. I'm unsure, and I've asked to go to couples counselling and all sorts, just so we can aid his communication, so his relationship doesn't come to these points, and he just doesn't want to. No matter what I do, he always like bats it off. So ultimately I've just got to leave that on his toes, really. If he comes to me and says he wants to do that, then I'm willing to do it, but I'm not begging him to do it, because I'm a little bit fed up at constantly trying to organise and be and not control, but manage other people's emotions towards me. I need to manage my own emotions, because ultimately that end results in me eating loads of crap, putting weight on, then feeling really shit about myself. I do feel like I've developed that this year in terms of like my diet, my emotional eating. I'm not linking as many things now to eating, like I've just said about coming to the cinema, going to the theatre. I allow myself planned treats, but I'm trying not to link every time I go to the cinema to watch a film with having a bag of popcorn or some chocolate or something like that. I don't really drink a lot. I will be drinking when I go to Magaluf, but again, it's planned and it's controlled. I don't really like the uncontrolled binging that has been a thing in my life. My emotional eating, I eat when I'm happy, sad, celebrating, commiserating, you name it, I do it. So that's something that I'm trying to work on, and part of that is these kind of incidents. I'm not sure whether Oliver actually realises he's doing it, and maybe, not maybe, I know I have stuff to blame where this is concerned. I am not perfect, and I am trying to work on it. I've been really defensive and aggressive and argumentative in the past, but I genuinely am not now. The fact that I have come here and moved myself out of the way so then I can not have that argument, have that silent treatment and feel like crap. I do feel like that's progression for me, and it's something that I enjoy. Do you know, like, I'm happy that this is how I am. Like, this is my better way of dealing with it, and ultimately, like, I don't mind if I go off plan and I'm not on a diet, like for a weekend and stuff, you know, like for my birthday, as long as it's for something I choose to do. I don't like it when I go off plan because I'm emotional and I give up and like I get overwhelmed by stuff. I don't really like that then leads me to eating, and that ultimately that does make me feel like rubbish. So this is a better place for me. I'm just now pulling into the car park near the Centertainment. I've drove over to the area where I am, because if I do end up going to the cinema again after this, I'm watching 2 films to stay out of the way. Oh god, here's me thinking I'm gonna have too much time, and here I am, I'm like last minute, I've now got to find a car parking space, and I'm screwed because it looks busy, like super busy. Oh nope, I'll have that one. That was perfect. Somebody's just pulled out of this space, which is quite close to where I want to be. Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna write another car off here. Let me just concentrate, because I can't obviously multitask. It's a good job this is such a little car, because a person has just pulled out here. Oh, just let this guy go past. Somebody has just pulled out of here, and it's quite close to where I want to be. So I'm just going to straighten up so the people outside of me can get in the car, and I've got to go because I've got to get to my cinema showing. I think I've booked The Ghostbusters Frozen something. I actually don't really know what I've booked because it was a bit like, oh, I'm not staying here, I'm just going to book whatever's on. I've booked something so it ends at like, I think it's 10 to 9 or 10 to 7, something like that. So then I can go again if I need to. So I will catch you after the cinema. Woohoo! That is one cinema trip down. I just quite enjoyed that actually. I brought with me one of the new Plan bars, although I could have probably eaten like a Subway salad or something. I'm just not feeling it. So that's what I've had for my tea. I've been in the cinema, I've quite enjoyed that. Just watched the new Ghostbuster film, which was pretty good actually. I've just booked again to go back into the cinema to watch The Omen, which is like a scary film. That's in 40 minutes, so at 20 to 10 tonight, I think it is. So it's going to be a bit of a late night. I'm going to grab a meal, well, not a meal, a Diet Coke, I think, and enjoy the cinema. And that is my day today. I'm not going to be recording anymore because my battery's going low and I need it for my cinema ticket. But that is my entire day, and I've quite enjoyed myself really. It's been nice to have a bit of me time, to have a bit of stuff on my own and just have a bit of space and enjoy it. I have not got any makeup on. I'm a bit less shiny than what I were earlier in the car. And I do think I'm getting some colour, you know, from the sunbed. I'm getting a white bit there actually where my neck goes down when I'm on the sunbed, so I'm going to have to remember to put my neck up. But overall, a really nice day. So here's to a successful Saturday and roll on my Sunday.